while we're enjoying the refreshments that Mary Palin and Kathy Newcroft for us to enjoy today. So we appreciate their doing that. So I'm happy to. Well, we won't give her 20-year anniversary certificate today. Please, you guys, another activity we will actually have planned. Should I just pass it around?
Whatever you want to do.
Kim, Linda brought this card for Sarah Beeland. You guys, Sarah's got a stroke.
Oh,
And your thoughts and your prayers, of course, are deeply appreciated while she's recovering. If you'd like to, we'd all like to sign this card to give her a little encouragement, but if you want to give her a phone call or send her a personal card, feel free to do that. Her address is in the yearbook. If you need a copy of the yearbook, let me know, I'll send you a new one. Or if you want her address today, Kim can give it to you. All right, that's the only bit of small business that we've got for the chapter that I know of. Does anybody else have anything like that they need to share? Okay, so the Regents report, as you see, we're already cruising down that list on your agenda. So this month for Trenton has been a wonderful month. We toured the Augusta Canal Heritage, National Heritage Area. We presented a flag certificate to the August Flag of the Month winner. Do you remember that was George Funeral Home? Last month, September, the USC Aiken campus won the Flag of the Month, and we're still trying to get that scheduled on how to get that presented to them. We thanked first responders with 127 dishcloths that our members began making several months ago. When our President General was the Regent of the state of Texas, she made, at one of their annual conferences, she made a message, or she spoke about the fact that if you get 4% of your membership involved in an activity, that's a win. 4%. Well, girls, throughout this month with just that, we've had over 10% of our chapter involved. Yeah. The 4% was found at any one of those. So I sketched it all out. How many people have been involved this month in hands-on or personal appearance activities? And that was well over 10, but at each one of these, the lowest percentage that we had was 4%. So yeah, we're winning, guys. If you have any ideas of activities that you would like to see the Trenton chapter embrace, contact Kim. Kim, raise your hand so everybody knows who you are. Contact Kim, she is our program coordinator. It comes with the job of Vice Regent. She wasn't excited. She's doing a great job with it. Or myself. If you can't get a hold of Kim, snag me. We can enjoy fellowship of membership in so many ways. Charlene, you came up with an idea, maybe let's all get together for a drink some night. Talk to Kim, let's see what we can do. So the Secretary's report and the Registrar's report have been submitted in writing and they're attached to your agenda. But the DAR appreciates that the Treasurer's report be given orally. And Tasha is not here. Do you want to move forward? Why don't you come up here? I'd love to look at your face while I'm talking.
Should we sit down here?
Well, she can sit right here, front and center. Tasha's not here today and she's our treasurer, so she has asked me to give this oral report from the treasurer. We are still waiting on dues for 23 members. So talk to your buddies within the chapter, see if they've paid their dues. Let's get that done. But since our last meeting, we've received $849 in dues, and checks have gone out in the amount of $261.60. The majority of that was for our first year members. In their first year, remember Robin came up with this idea, which was good, last year to pay for an annual subscription to the DAR magazine. So that was the majority of this $261. Our current balance is $14,266.82, but dues have not been sent to national or to state. Tasha is finishing up some treasurer's training that they're doing online every Thursday night, and the next one is coming up will be different ways to pay the dues in. So she's kind of waiting for that, and then the money will be sent. So during our last meeting, I explained that our meetings are going to be a little different this year. Instead of bringing in speakers, we're going to learn more about the DAR by hearing from various committees. We're going to start the committees with the DAR Magazine Committee Chair, Robin Breens. You all know Robin. She wears the various hats. Robin is not only our current registrar, but she also has served as registrar in the past and as regent in the past. Robin is this, are you the senior president of the William Stroud Society?
Yes.
She had to stop and think, listen to her. She is the senior president of the William Stroud Society, Children of the American Revolution, and the district director over District 3, which is our district within the South Carolina State DAR. Along with all of those duties, she also serves as committee chair for the Children of the American Revolution Committee and the DAR Magazine Committee. So Robin, I know you could talk to us about a lot of things, but would you come up and tell us about the DAR Magazine Committee? Do you want me to carry some of those up there for you? Do you want to pass them over?
All right, ladies. We have 34 members who are subscribing to the magazine. That is very good. It ain't 100%, but it's very good. And I want to encourage those who are not subscribing to take it upon themselves to subscribe. This magazine, we're passing around their old editions from Frederica and from Sarah Beelan. The good news about the American Spirit magazine, it gives a world of information about historic places and people and events and things you can do about patriotic education. It is great for crafts if you've got grandchildren or children. Most of us have grandchildren, we're at that stage. But anyway, it's great for that. It is also great to get ideas if you are traveling. I mean, going to the grandchildren's house, oh, this is not too far off the beaten trail. I could swing by to this tavern perhaps or whatever. So, I strongly encourage you to subscribe to the American Spirit magazine. With the American Spirit magazine, you get a 2-for-1. You get Daughters United. I love Daughters United. And why do I love Daughters United? It's because I'm lazy. You get wonderful ideas about, what are you laughing at? Oh, we've got some of that. About what's going on in other chapters. It's not cheating to use good ideas. Why reinvent the wheels? I have discovered such great ideas for working in the community, helping others. It's a fantastic resource. So it also lets you know a little bit about the committees and what they're doing. That's how I found out they've got over 18,000 pending supplements, because I read it in the magazine. Take an opportunity to subscribe to it. Now, on a functional basis, every January, for some of you are new to DAR, and some of you have not had the opportunity for life experience of filling out a CMR, and Mary's going to talk a little bit more about the CMR in a minute. I'm just saying they do have questions about the magazine. Mary's going to tell you there's sections about it on each of the committees. Well, that includes a DAR magazine. What they want to know from the chapters is, what's your favorite type of articles? What's your least favorite type of articles? And why they use that, they roll it up per chapter, per state to the national, so that they can modify the magazine to gauge what y'all want to read. It's a fantastic opportunity to get input and to national to make this magazine truly something you're interested in doing. So, with that in mind, I'm going to pass out the types of things. I'm going to reach out to you guys because I've got to do this part of the CMR come January. Yay! I'm going to pass this out. I would really appreciate you taking one of these magazines, flip through it. It doesn't really matter if it's an old issue or not, because it's the type of articles they're asking about. And when I reach out to you guys in a couple of months, you're going to, Johnny on the spot, tell me what your favorite types of articles and your least favorite, so I can accurately reflect what Trenton is interested in doing. Is that fair enough? Yes. Rah, rah. Yes, we'll do it, Robin. Yay. Okay. I'm going to pass this out. Any questions? You get one too. Come on, enthusiastic. Thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate it. Everybody this. Yes.
Is everybody signed in? If you need to sign in sheet, let me know. It's up here. I just want to stick this thing. In regards to DAR magazine, how many of you guys know about Clara and I? Clara's the traveling mannequin, and I go around and I dress her and undress her in colonial attire while I'm dressed in colonial attire. And that whole passion, that whole idea came from me reading the American Spirit magazine. They had an article in there about colonial attire. And I was like, fascinated. It's like, wow, that just spurred one thing after another, and now Clara was born. So, I mean, you never know what you're gonna really get out of reading that if you don't dive in. So before I became regent, I was on the board, you know, they'd already been nominated, and we were just waiting to see if it was really gonna happen. I asked Carrie Gillette if she would take the position of chair for the Literacy Promotion Committee. Carrie has a long history of success with the Trenton chapter and a lot of activity over the years. How long have you been a member, Carrie?
I'd have to look at the book look and see what my date was.
It's been a few
I
years.
transferred here from California, and then I transferred to North Carolina, and then I transferred down here, so been around.
So you get around, but you stay within the DAR, right? But I looked at the Service to America hours that she logged, and I could see that she was in love with sharing the written word. And so I asked Carrie if she would be the Literacy Promotion Chair, and I was thrilled that I had somebody that was a chair position before I ever even became regent. And I've learned a lot about what Carrie does and what she's excited about. You can hear it in the pitch of her voice when she starts talking about it. So come and talk to us about it.
Yeah, I really like working with kids. My husband and I found out that we could volunteer in a school and with a teacher, a reading teacher. So we started working last year in Grantville Elementary as a volunteer. Of course, you have some training on how to be a volunteer. You have to go through this every year. Well, that's fine. That's great. And SCAR was founded in 1890 with a simple mission promoting historic preservation, education, and patriotism. These timeless principles just keep DAR strong. The only thing is, times are changing. It used to be way back when, in 1900, DAR was helping to build schools like Tomasi. But today, more than 30 million adults cannot read or write above the third grade level. That's really, really sad. Literacy development can begin early in life. In fact, when you're pregnant, of course, you've already been through this. But the baby can hear. You can play music. You can talk to it. You or her, him or her, and they can start learning even that way to get their attention span up. And I've always loved reading books, whether I'm reading them or reading them to my grandkids, great grandkids too now. So that's really great being able to do that. However, I've become concerned when I read things in the newspaper and other places that in South Carolina, statistics say 57% of students in grades 2 through 8 are behind grade level in English, language arts, and 28% are 2 grades below. In fact, the class we're working with it's a 4th grade, and we're reading really easy books to some. Of course, now for some of them, English is their second language, so it makes it a little difficult for them. But my husband and I, when we go in there, usually every Wednesday, of course the kids had 2 weeks off. So we'll go back in this Wednesday, we're usually there from 10 o'clock and usually for an hour. And we'll have one student, and then after about half an hour, then the teacher assigns us another student to do. And the child reads a book. They have some books in the bag, or they can read this on the table. They could read one of the books from that and listen to them and try to help showing them what the correct sound of the word is. Or some words, sometimes they have words like atmosphere, kind of depends what book you're in. And the little boy has something about space. And then there's some words that, he goes, I had never heard this word before. I can't even think what word it was now. But it's wonderful, and then the teacher has told us through the short time we've even done this year that she can see a definite improvement in the kids. And
Awesome.
we don't see so much. Of course, we have different students. It might not be the same we had the week before. That we'll have two other ones. You know, one. Husband sits over one place, and he has one, and I have to sit with a table with another one, so we're not interrupting each other. Now, when you read, you gain valuable knowledge. You exercise your brain. Now, remember, use it or lose it. It has to do with your riding a bike, bowling, playing tennis, whatever. It also has to do with your brain there, and you have to think about how long you want to keep that brain, how long you want to keep it active. People are going to be asking you questions. Well, how was it back when? Well, sometimes you could remember, but when we get older, sometimes we can remember back when. But if you ask us what we ate yesterday, we don't know. As if that makes any difference. But it's good to remember way back when. I know visiting my mother's sister, and my mother and her 2 sisters died before she did. But this other one is still living, and she was in her 90s. In fact, we made her a DAR member, even that she didn't realize that. But her memory was still like this. And of course, she was always bringing out pictures and papers and albums and all. So we need to keep our minds active. How can you do that? Well, you can do it by playing certain kind of board games, or even whether just playing with yourself, whether playing solitaire, or whether playing something like chess as compared to checkers. Chess is a little more difficult, or even other kind of games. I mean, kids love playing with you, or even with adults. I know one time I had Marilyn come over, and I had the DAR-opoly game.
Whoa.
Yep, DAR sold this game. DAR and Evelyn and I played, not Marilyn. And if you don't want to borrow that game, you're welcome to it. Another thing, reading does it, improves your focus and memory. I need to work on my husband on that to read more. I'm his resident memory, he tells me. And then you can read it. You can enjoy entertainment. Nothing like reading a book and it's really funny and you just start laughing. I'll have to get something about chocolate. I always like to read something about chocolate, you know, makes your life better. Have even a magnet on the refrigerator that says, "Save the world, this is the only planet with chocolate." Or the book I have, just hand over the chocolate and everything will be okay. Okay, and also case, and it really improves your ability to emphasize and improve your communication skills, reduces stress, and improve your mental health, help you to live longer. In keeping with Nashville's emphasis of literacy promotion, please consider contributing to and supporting the Little Free Libraries. You might find right near you. In fact, we have here a member in our chapter, Mary Pallet, and she has a little library. Yeah, I have an address down there, but now I don't see it. So you can go online, go on to www.littlefreelibrary.org, and then you can look you click on for a map, and then you can look on a map, blow it up, and you can see a lot of places that are zoom out, and find the different ones that are around there. I'm not sure that map has all of that. I think there's a number of others that aren't even on the map. Do you realize that, there's some kids don't even have one book to call their own. And so, it's like, the books are important, they can have a book, my book, and put their names in the book, and it just means so much to some people, kids who are so poor that they don't have hardly anything, maybe not even a bed to call their own. They have to share it with one or two siblings. And with a Little Free Library, it's open 24/7. I guess unless it rains, something might not come, but still, really think about contributing to the library. I forgot to tell you. Oh yeah, if you donate books to the Little Free Library, you can report how many books you donate at the bottom of the DAR website when you submit. That's your service to America hours. It's another way to get hours.
Thank you. So the DAR National has 63 committees. Is that what I told you earlier today? There is something for everyone. But not everyone is excited about all the committees. I mean, that's just fair. You know? There are some committees that I never really check out that much because the topic isn't something I'm passionate about. But one thing that I've learned by looking at all of these committees is that I can be passionate about a person, and then all of a sudden I start getting interested in the committee that they're excited about. And that's a testimony of what's going on with Carolyn Lucky today. The American Indians, I'm not against it, just don't care. Until I started interacting with Carolyn Lucky, and I tried to find a committee for her. She kept saying, no, it's not really for me. No, it's not really for me. Kim and I, well, there were several of us that went to the August summer social, and Kim started talking to Carolyn. Afterwards, Kim came to me and she goes, do you know Carolyn Lucky is excited about American Indians? I'm like, clueless. No, not at all. I called Carolyn that night, and she's like, I would love to do that committee. I'm like, you're kidding. Since then, we have had several conversations. Now, I am more excited and interested in the American Indian Committee. And I like that that's going on in our chapter this year, that we're getting to hear about the literacy promotion, the DAR magazine committees, things that when we start seeing the personalities in these committees, now the committees are coming to life for us. So Carolyn, why don't you come and tell us more about the American Indian? You can see Jill.
I'm taking Jane's job.
voices because, the state seems to think that we need a license if we have,
Tickets.
if we use the other language, like raffle and so forth, so, anyway. We're, selling voices for these items. There's 3 of them, and, the drawing will be, excuse me, March the 24th at our state convention. And there'll be 3 prizes, or three people that'll win one of those. Last year, Abigail Fowler won the contest, and I think last year we had a base that was, the prize. The amount raised last year was $2,600, but we wanna double that this year at least. There was an article in this month's newsletter about Miss Fowler and how she used her money that, she received from DAR, and maybe you saw this in the email, the picture, and, what she's doing, to further the, information to her tribe and everybody. She's trying to, make sure that the language, native language doesn't die out, and so she's, done some children's books like this one that has, the, Indian words and then the English words to go with it. And then they have, she's illustrated these 2, like this is a tree, and then a persimmon, and, the way you pronounce that is, I don't know what it is, but.
Do you wanna pass that around, or do you wanna just have it at your table?
Yeah, it's just back there.
Okay.
And then there's someone printed that, so. Anyway, what we're doing is, the tickets are $5 each, and then we will, continue to sell these until December, I think. And another thing, November is American Indian Heritage Month, and, they'll be sold this month in November. And I want to read you, the article that Ann Allen, who is the head of the committee at the state level, said, and it says, during Ann's state championship for American Indians, she successfully led 2 state fundraisers, and hopefully this 3rd one will be the best. Last year's proceeds went to pay the housing costs for Abigail Fowler. Hopefully you all got to read her bio that was emailed to the chapter regents and should have been sent out to the members. Abigail had applied for the American Indian Scholarship but was not selected as a winner, and my state committee thought so highly of her that we wanted to assist with her education costs. We would love to assist Abigail next year as well if she doesn't win an NSDAR, American Indian Scholarship. She plans to apply again. We hope you all will purchase a $5 voice, and you can see the 3 prizes that will be awarded at the March 2024 State Conference. So that's about it. You just buy these tickets, and they get, the money gets collected, and your name will be pulled out of a hat, and you'll win one of those pieces of jewelry, and that'll be in March. So that's about all I have to say.
Over here, more. Can you see, Jill? Close enough?
Anyway, this information is back there on the table too, if you wanna look at it more. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Okay, so this next report is not really a committee report, but it's very important about the DAR. I was a member of the DAR for many years. I even served on a board for another chapter, and I've heard CMR, but I didn't even know what the C or the M or the R stood for. when I heard about it, I got curious, but I didn't really understand it. During the last couple of years, however, being the registrar and this chapter being more active or looking for the board members to participate more, I learned a lot. Mary also stepped in, being a new member, what, just 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Yeah. And she was the one that I always went to get an understanding of what are we doing and how are we doing it. And if she asked for anything for the CMR, I tried to do my best to make sure that it happened. So I asked Mary to come and tell us just a little bit about the CMR today.
We'll try it.
Okay, Joe, we're gonna try to pull up a presentation, so I don't know what that's gonna do. Yes, okay, good, good. Okay.
It's working. Okay, that's an accomplishment. All right, so I'm not talking about a specific committee, but I'm talking about the information we collect for the service that you do on a committee. And this is a report that's done each year to collect all that information and put it in one place. Okay, it's an exciting topic, so. Chapter Master Report is what it's called, and the abbreviation is CMR. So Susan wanted me to kind of give a high-level view of this so that if you hear us say, let's do this so then we can get some credit on the CMR, it'll kind of make sense what we're talking about. Okay, so it's a yearly reporting tool that national and state chairs can use to recognize the chapter's accomplishments and achievements. And when you're planning your program year, you can use the CMR as a guide to set up your meetings or some of your activities that you want to do for the year. So you can use it as for that as well. Okay, the CMR consists of pages of questions that pertain to each of the committees. So like Susan said, there's 40, 60
63.
committees. Okay, so there's a page for each one of those committees with questions that it's gonna ask you if you did certain things. You know, did you have a marker program? Did you
Margin of
donate some things for veterans? Did you do some things for education, classroom? Did you give awards to students? There's various sheets for each committee. And the CMR is updated every year after the Continental Congress. So the new CMR is usually available at the end of August. So some things change a little bit on a committee, some things don't change. So they may combine a committee or establish a new committee or have different goals for the committee. So you want to get the latest version when it comes out, and like Robin said, there'll be a survey for the DAR magazine because there's questions about it. And you don't want to wait till January when they have the deadline that it has to be turned in for the prior year by January 31st at midnight. So you don't want to send your survey out on January 30th. You can start now. So Robin's doing that to get that going. This is just a kind of a flow chart that came off the website about the CMR, and it's showing that it starts here with the, well, that's not gonna work on there. Chapter officers and chapter chairs fill out the sheets as best they can. The region reviews it and submits it when it's completed, and then it goes to the state chairs. Now the state chairs really do read these because they want to know what all the chapters are doing for their committee. They may not be able to reach out to every chapter, so this gives them information. It also goes to the division vice chairs. We're in the Southeast Division, and it goes to national vice chairs, national chairs, and the recording secretary general, so that everything that you do as an individual for the chapter rolls up to the state level, rolls up to national level. So it all gets combined into one big report. Okay, here's an example of one of the sheets that's within the report, and this one's the America 250. And just as an example, this has a question, the first question is about if you placed a 250 marker. And so this will give you points, or you answer yes or no to the questions on that sheet. Another example is Children of the American Revolution. And the first question on this one is, did your chapter support a local CAR society? And you check yes or no. And then there's other questions about things you did with CAR. This is one on DAR, SAR, Sons of the American Revolution relations. And so the first question on this one is, does your chapter have a DAR, SAR relations committee chair? And then you would put their name in. And it has other questions about the events and activities that you've partnered with SAR on so that you can define what you did. This is a special section of the CMR called Chapter Achievement Awards. So this has multiple categories within it that get populated, some by national and some by the chapter itself. And so it rolls up a lot of the, not necessarily committees, but it could be more the business part of the chapter's activities that they do. So some of the topics are the dues, so there's information the treasurer has to fill in. Membership, the Service to America hours all get rolled up into a line on this section of the report. The member training, so if you're taking training classes, it would get recorded here. You get points for that. The DAR magazine, and then donations to national or donations to specific committees. Some sections are auto-populated, and then some the regent may fill in, or other members she would ask to have them fill in, like the treasurer. This captures all the activities from January to December 31st in the calendar year, and then it has to be submitted by January 31st. It is accessed from the DAR website. So if you are asked to populate one of the sheets, the regent would give you a password so that you could go in onto the website and access this report. And then this information gets rolled up, and did you know, ladies, that all of this information is gonna create history for DAR? We're making DAR history. Everything that, like I said in the beginning, is that the chapter does goes to the state, goes to national, and those reports are archived in the Smithsonian Institute. Now, who knew that already? 2 people. Okay, we learned something new today. When you go to the Smithsonian, you want to see the chapter master report. Okay. I do have the 2022, I know it's exciting, chapter master report here. If anybody wants to see any parts of it, they're welcome to look at it, and I'm willing and available to help anybody with sheets as you go and you get started with sheets if you're new and you are like, what does this mean? I'll be glad to help you. So if you have any questions, or it's all overwhelming and very exciting,
She's amazing.
I'm here to help with it, so just ask.
Thank you, Mary.
All right. And now we can go back to unsharing.
Stop sharing.
Yes.
No more sharing with you. Sure. Stop. Good. Now we see your face again, Joe. Okay. So that's it for our committee reports. We do have a couple of announcements that I would like, just real brief updates on things that have been going on. Kim, would you like to come up, please, and kind of give us a debrief on the DAR Leadership Training Committee Members Course Kickoff? Whoa, that's a long one.
It's very good. I'm standing here, she can't see.
You can sit here, but then you can't
Stand right
We
here.
gotta figure this out.
Stand right here.
Can you see Kim? Can you see Kim?
Okay. The membership kickoff meeting was a flop. No one showed up. So, we do have one member who has signed up for the class, and possibly one member who's gonna do it independently. So that is a plus, so we'll have maybe 2 members taking the class. The committee leaders is in February. I encourage anyone who wants to learn more about the committees to let me know, and I will give you information on when that one will be. And then, of course, we do have the, leaders course. So, again, it is part of our chapter, master report. Training is important for all of us. We need to learn about DAR. It is very helpful for new members. It's helpful for older members too, especially as change has happened through the years. So, that's my report.
Thank you, Jen.
Sam, may I add something? The committee leaders, retreat's gonna be the 16th and 17th of February. And right now, there's only 2 chapters in the district that has come back to me and said, we've got people interested. So, as I said to the regents, okay, I mean, it's stupid to try to get it here in Aiken if nobody in Aiken's going to participate. I'm going to put it where the majority's going to be for commuting and that kind of thing. So right now, I just have Jasper, and Jasper's got a little 34 members, and they've got 8 people
Wow.
wanting to do, and Granby has got 10 people. So, speak of it now, if you're interested,
Like Kim said.
please let Susan know, so let me know.
Yeah. Like Kim said, training is important. If somebody didn't show up for the membership kickoff, but they're interested in taking the members class,
That just means let me know.
so they can still do it as a group okay.
Okay, do you have to be a member to take the class?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Karen had asked me, I said,
Yeah.
We need to get that application
I know.
submitted.
And you don't have to do the members, you don't have to do the group if you want to
Right.
take the members class. You can do it independently.
Right. Just go look at it, if nothing else, girls. There's stuff to learn there. I mean, was it, Frederica that said she'd been a member for what? You remember?
66 years.
66 years before she
She
took
said
the course.
she learned so much.
You don't wanna do
If you
that.
want to be a member of this organization, it would be nice if you learned about the organization, honestly. And that's all the members course is.
Right.
It's about learning the different facets. That, DAR is so multifaceted.
It-
And this gives you a chance and see what your passion is.
Yep.
All right, last week was the DAR Day of Service, and that happens once a year on the day that the DAR originated. And like Kathy knew, our Service to America committee chair to come in and tell you about what we did.
A couple months ago, Susan, well, actually, she probably had the right idea some months before that, but she called me up and asked me if I would do this. Well, I can't crochet or I can't knit, but we actually had enough people that produced, as Susan said, 127. Well, last month, I didn't have one to show you, but this is what was given out. We actually had, 6 fire departments and 1 sheriff's department. And I went to 4, and it was the funniest thing because I did get dressed up, and I did have my name tag on. And I went and I would ring the doorbell, and they'd come to the door, and they'd look at me like I had 2 heads. It was, I guess people just don't knock at the doors there, don't you ring the bell. But, and I would ask a couple, can I get your picture with it? And no. I just get the picture of the fire station. But now on the other hand, Susan and Helen Thurston, right? I mean, Thornton, no, Thurston. They were invited in. I think they even had dinner, right? But anymore.
Just
I discussed, but I did have a couple, I did get invited into one, and they were very nice, and they all appreciated it very much. If you're here and if you did crochet, raise your hand. Anybody? Well, Christy is not, she's gonna be a
Thank you,
member,
Christy.
but Christy, but I can tell you that, Joyce Anderson is a lady that I know through the garden club, and Joyce not only did the crocheting, but she gave us a bucket this big of the little
Hold that.
kid pull tabs. So that was great, and then Christy, and then Susan Gerstenberger and her daughter gave me a stack this time, and I'm not sure her daughter's name, and Lorraine Quinn and Helen Gersten and Julia Carter, and I do appreciate that a whole lot, and maybe by next time I'll learn. Christy has tried to teach me to crochet, but I just can't do it. So I have a great announcement today. The National DAR has a program for our service to America. It's called Service in Seconds. And I call it a pop-up service because these are small services that are gonna make a big difference or impact on our communities or other communities. And most of these will be hands-on, and a whole lot easier than crocheting or knitting. And we will do these services as needed. There'll be, the DAR gave us a list this long, and I'm not gonna go into all of them, but between now and Christmas, we may ask for some help with toys for children, or books for children, or helping somehow with the shelters, food for the shelters. But today, we're gonna do our first of our seconds, craft in seconds. So somebody sent that beautiful card around, and I'm sure it was Stamping Up. Yes, okay. Well, I have a real close friend, she's a cousin really by marriage, and so she lives in Texas, and I called her up and I said, can you give me some help? We're gonna do this bookmarker today. We're gonna do a bookmarker. Actually, we're gonna do several bookmarkers, and we're gonna do thank you notes. But this bookmarker, you're gonna do it exactly like this, because we have everything cut out for you to glue it on, just like this. You'll be sitting at the table. And then the next one will be your creative imagination. It's the blank, basic bookmark. And then you can cut out, and I have stickers, I bought stickers and little, cute little, it says thank you or whatever, thinking of you. So you can do your own creative, bookmark. And then you'll fill in your cards. You got your cards for there? Okay. The only thing I ask is that you're gonna have to use glue on these, because I didn't get the little stick-on glue. So you're gonna have to use glue. So this is what I ask that you do. Pour you a little bit of glue in the containers, the metal little pipe containers. And you can share with your neighbor. And use a toothpick. Take the toothpick, dab it in there, and just glue it on, okay? And then some of the other ones you can probably squirt the glue on. But I will be back there, and Christy will be back there, and we'll help you. All of y'all are creative. I'm not too creative, but just follow this instruction. Look at this, okay? That one's gonna be easy, because I know exactly what to do with the others. And we're gonna be giving these to veterans or active duty teachers, maybe.
Well, did you want some for the literacy group?
Yeah.
You know, where was that going to the?
Grant,
Oh, the reading, yes, that would be wonderful to the kids, that would be great. So we have 30 of these to be made, and we have probably 30 more of your imagination bookmarker. And then we have the cards. So I'm gonna probably help finish get food set up, because Mary and I were doing that, but just when you go back to the back, just either start with this or the other, and Christy will help. Any questions? No?
Thank you, Christy.
Oh, no, like I said, we gave out 126, and this is 127.
Okay. If you brought items for the stockings, there's a table back there that's got some bags. That would be for the stockings that the CAR is gonna put together for veterans for Christmas. And we do that every year, we kind of didn't get it announced this year that well. Next month, we're gonna be taking donations for Toys or Tots. Is that something else the CAR is gonna be doing? Okay. Please see the bottom of your agenda for some upcoming events. The Creative Historic Preservation event is coming up November 4th. If you are planning on attending that event, please let me know. I'm gonna be supplying lunch, and so I need to know how many lunches to supply for, and the space, so I need to make sure that so far we've got one person coming. And if that's all we've got coming, then we'll probably just cancel the event, so if you're interested, please let me know. I'm wearing one of the jewelry pieces today, if you'd like to see it. I mean, she's really got some fun stuff. So, yep. And then you can read the other ones, down there, but you know, the other events that are coming up on the bottom of your agenda. Don't forget to stick around and enjoy the crafts, and talk to Carolyn about the American Indian Voices while you enjoy your refreshments. Karen, I'm gonna ask you to give the benediction and also the blessing of the refreshments, please.
Okay, let us pray. Lord, thank you for bringing us here together today. Pray that we all make it home safely. Also, we're asking that you bless the food for our health and our bodies to your service. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Can I say something about books? I just wanted to, it occurred to me that I should share with you about 2 books I've read recently. One, it would interest all of you, it's called Founding Mothers, and it's about women during the American Revolution that contributed to the Patriot Cause. It's an excellent book. It's written by Kobe Roberts, who used to be a newscaster. And then the other one, we were talking about the American Indian community. I'm reading a book right now called Captured, and it's about all of the children that were taken by the Indians, and this is in Texas. It was mostly Comanche Indians. But these children were raised for several years by the Comanches or other Indian tribes, and then they didn't really, some of them didn't want to go back to their real families. It